Bum, bum, bum. Hello, I'm here. Hello, how are you? Hello, everyone. How are we doing? Hope everyone's doing good. How are we all? We're back for a short little Ace Attorney stream. Hello, hello. Bum, bum. Let's hop right into it, shall we? Bow, 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 bow. Let's go all the way back to Rise from the Ashes and start from there. We beat the second game in 5 days, it looks like. 3, 4. Yeah, 5 days. That's crazy. That's crazy, dog. Let's get into it. That's right, we were in the intermission. I think they're bringing in a new witness. Phew, let's go. Phew, that was close. Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir. No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit.
Oh no, don't die. That'd be so sad.
Looks like we all nearly died in there.
I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that?
Huh?
He said he'd help me, but he totally set me up. I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's gotta do his job, right?
It's okay. I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life.
Oh, Maggie.
But it really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again.
Oh no, poor Gumshoe. Poor Gumshoe. Ew.
So the next witness is going to be that old guy from the park, right?
Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds.
I bet he's going to be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know. Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you gonna be able to handle him, Nick?
Yeah, I could take whatever he throws at me. Even those never-ending bird seeds. Let's go. Let's go beat up an old man in court. January 7th, 11:15 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Phoenix shut up about his projectile seeds. When talking about particular character. Court will now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Bird. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Alright, let's do this. Name and occupation, if you don't mind.
The name's Victor Kudo. Born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what make me me. Mind you, I can be quite emotional at times, too.
We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
My occupation? Kah, listen, youngin'. How much call do you think there is for kimono embroidery here?
Kimono embroidery?
That's what I do. Or did back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
And what country is that, Mr. Kudo? What country are we in? Please tell the court.
Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you can embroider my costume sometime. Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I had to take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen. Now then, witness, were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident?
Oh yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javakino.
We're in Japanifornia, of course, the mystical land of Japanifornia. Seeds?
What do you think these are,
I see. So you saw everything that happened, Gramps.
Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all.
Then please, tell the court. We're all ears.
Sure, sure. I'll tell you every last detail.
He's really getting into this. Okay, Mr. Kudo, there's this woman. I think you'd love to meet her. Her name is Wendy Oldbag. I think you two would get along great. What I look at this.
The young man was reading the sports paper. The servant girl brought him a Javakino, but she put something in it. That man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, and then collapsed. That's the servant girl, right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well.
Mr. Kudo, she is not a servant girl. Please refer to her as a waitress.
Kah, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones,
Newfangled?
All this talk of radios and glasses. It's wireless and spectacles, I tell you.
Excuse me?
Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away.
Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. What I witnessed.
You said, I remember her well, in a reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by? Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Sorry?
You can see all the way up to her, you know.
Oh my god.
She's practically naked in that uniform. Oh my god.
Leave her be. So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform. Even me! Please, please, Phoenix, please put on the outfit. Mr. Wright. No. Judge, I like where he's going with this. Please let him continue. I want to see this. Please spare the court of any further mental anguish from that image. No. I say we let him. Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together. Maya, please. I guess I got a bit carried away.
Ka, there are other things I recognize about her, too.
He seems pretty sure of himself. What should I do? Yeah, press harder, why not?
Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim.
But what matters is whether the waitress was Maggie Bird or not. Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these other features that you recognize about the defendant, I would ask you to add them to your testimony.
Sure. There was a ribbon in her hair, and her apron straps were loose.
You do seem to remember several details about her appearance, but what about the most crucial detail of all? Her, her face?
Ha! As if I wouldn't remember that.
The witness noticed the straps on the accused's apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face.
That's right! I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red.
So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight. There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow. Her back, I guess? The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back.
So what?
Is it possible that you never saw the waitress from the front at all?
Objection!
He's got you there, Gramps. Thanks for being on my side, Godot. People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons.
This is harassment. I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I'm telling you what I saw.
Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features.
Features you observe from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure.
This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer.
If I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet. There wasn't anything that caught my interest about her when I saw her from the front. Oh, really? Nothing at all? No stains at all? Mr. Kudo, I would like you to take a look at this. Oops. What? There we go. Ha! That filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like just after he's done eating. Have you ever seen this before? Of course I haven't. Do you think I forget something as dirty as that, Well, you half-witted clot. Oh my god. What? What is it? Ever since I said you half-witted clot, there's been an eerie silence in here. Mr. Kudo, this apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And you just said so yourself. You wouldn't forget something like this. Which means if you had really seen this apron before... Yeah, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front. Oops. Got this. Got him. Witness! You can't just say oops. You just can't oops your way out of this. Your Honor, it was an oopsie daisy. A little fumble, if you will. I was a bit of a rapscallion. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine trial on our hands. Listen, Wright. Here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing. Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps. You can rely on me, Captain. My noggin's in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion where I forgot what a burger a customer wanted.
He can't remember? Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well. Let's test just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim. He was another one of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles. He had a newspaper in his right hand and the noisy brat kept rustling its pages. This young man was listening to the wireless, I remember that well. Then the servant girl in question brought over the Javakino. The little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we just heard was to test how credible the witness's memory is. Seems to me that he remembers the victim in a great deal of detail. Oh yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
How are we gonna handle this, Nick?
We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove that this old man's memory is shot.
Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel?
Nick, you can't just beat up old men. Yes, I can. I suppose, but it's what I do best. Alright. About the victim. There's a young dad, the newspaper in his right hand. Newspaper in his right hand. Yeah, okay. Don't think so. You trip up old men all the time, Maya. Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory? I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I tell you nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Care to tell us where this is going, Trite?
According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left. Ha! What is this, kindergarten? But I would like the court to please take a look at this.
That's the cup the victim used, correct?
Yeah, and on the rim you'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips. His luscious lips.
Yes, there is a stain left by the coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand. Just look at where the handle is. But how? Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance.
You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Ah! I want to hear the pigeon song.
Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid this is simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from.
Wait! If you think I'm going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad, you're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw.
You still insist on your testimony?
That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh, yes, no question. I'm a good, law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hotbot and you spiky-haired yahoo who are at fault.
Who, me? Thank you, old man. We've heard quite enough from you already. Oh, Judge.
Don't call me old man, old man. Been around for 68 years, I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but... Sure, why not hear a little more? Mr. Godot! But this is my 16th cup of coffee, so this is your final stand.
Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor.
Alright. Let's go, Victor. Left hand or right hand?
That boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. He kept fiddling with it all the time. He was fiddling with it just before he picked up the cup, too. And then he used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a small computer monitor often used by programmers. A monitor? You mean like a television screen? The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work.
HD, TV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled letters drive me mad. But they don't matter. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth.
He's acting like like abbreviations have never existed before.
What's this abbreviation?
It's true, he doesn't seem to be lying.
And those are the facts in good old black and white.
Yeah, except we already know you're a liar. Mm-hmm. Where is it? Boom. You're a liar. I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but Mr. Kudo, there's something very strange about your observations of the victim.
What?
You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD?
No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear without a doubt. I could only see what's that side of his head from where I was sitting.
I don't think so.
What did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. But the victim couldn't hear out of his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured.
Huh?
Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right. It's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear, because he couldn't even hear in that ear.
Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon! Oh, pigeon!
Went by so fast. Lock him up. Order, order, order. This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot? Single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk.
Captain, are you calling me a drip?
This is the victim's coffee cup in which the potassium cyanide was found. The mark on the rim clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand.
I'll never back down, I know I'm right. The lad drank his Javakino with his left hand.
Let me put you out of your misery. Clearly the victim used both hands. He took a sip with the cup held in his right hand and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw. Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of coffee. Which hand the victim used to pick up his cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The fact still stands. With one hand or the other, Mr. Elg drank the poison coffee. Like this. He just drops dead. No, Mr. Godot! Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of this testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless. I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old foggy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo. You can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That is all for now. This court is adjourned. Alright. Gotcha.
Oh, it's always someone yelling, hold it. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me?
Leave you, Mr. Kudo?
Thanks to that blue-stained young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man who can't even dot his T's or cross his I's now.
How is your bad memory my fault? I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do.
I've kept my mouth shut until now, but there's something else the court should know.
What?
There's more. To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance. I want another crack at you, you young shark.
Me? He's looking at me like I'm some sort of evil shogun.
Well, everyone, what do you say to one final showdown? The final chapter in this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 17th cup of coffee.
What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Javakino you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 68 years old, but Victor Kudo is still a man.
Okay, that's enough, witness. Please, stop talking. I believe it'll be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony.
You bet! Much, much quicker.
I can't believe this is happening.
You better get ready, youngster.
I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? It's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds. Okay, Phoenix. Okay.
First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javakino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. No, he didn't. No, he didn't. It broke, and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked.
Phoenix is a gamer, confirmed.
Well, how about that? Turn things upside down,
No. Is that all?
Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Hey, you're doubting me again? You're doubting a poor, defenseless old man?
No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick?
Yeah. So what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy. You're a bird brain. That's all you can think of. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your final cross-examination, please. Now I understand why Thanos wanted to get rid of half the population in the universe. Alright. Yeah. Knocked over a vase, huh? It doesn't look very knocked over to me. Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
So what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, Granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours. Ow!
Enough! If you throw any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night.
Ah!
What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes, go on. A broken vase.
It was on my table.
Okay. What?
Well, you see. It startled me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been when it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean.
The vase on your table?
Yes, it was on my table.
And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked. Okay. God, I hate this guy so much. No, Godot, don't smile. Get him out of here. Get him out. Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You certainly earned your kudos for today. I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all? Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Ah! Wait a minute! If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. God, no! No!
Please, leave. Oh, I didn't see what he said. Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
Wait, listen to me.
Thank you, bailiff. Thank you. Oh my god. Please never bring him back to court. Well, we seem to have been considerably sidetracked. And I am still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony we have heard thus far. The mark on the coffee cup and the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand. And the earpiece, which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear.
Wow, Nick, you did it.
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. Honestly, it just sounds like he was just making up garbage, you know? Honestly, his whole testimony should just be thrown away. I know it's gonna become relevant later, all these like little petty details, but like he's clearly just making stuff up. And nothing was made sense. Yes, Your Honor. There is one more thing before I call today's session to an end. One more thing, Your Honor. The witness we just heard from. He is most insistent that his testimony should be of use, of course. So he summarized it accordingly into this statement. Okay. You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that.
It was really mad, huh?
Yeah, I would be too. Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. There are 3 copies. My own, yours, and Mr. Godot's. Yes, Your Honor. When the incident occurred, I broke the vase at my seat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry? This isn't a piece of testimony, more like a 5-year-old's apology.
What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies?
That is all. This court is adjourned. January 7th, 12:52 p.m. Not a.m.
So, how do you think the trial went this morning?
How do you think it went?
Got a bit crazy in there. I just wonder if that killed our chances.
Yeah, I guess it did get out of hand. Mr. Kudo's testimony did nothing to help us. Plus, now we don't even know the identity of the waitress who laced the coffee.
All we know is what old Mr. Kudo saw, the apron straps and the ribbon.
And that the victim was wearing an earpiece when his eardrum was ruptured.
Talk about a terrifying case of contradictionitis.
Time to play doctor and find ourselves a cure then, huh? That was cute.
Yeah, we've got to find one for Maggie or she's gonna have a terminal case of guilty.
That's cute. This is adorable. This is adorable. I loved that. That was really cute. Well, I'm officially at a loss as to where to start.
Yeah, me too. Let's try some brainstorming. You go first.
Guess we should try to put Mr. Kudo's testimony to some sort of use.
Yeah, that's true.
We need to figure out the identity of the waitress and who the victim really was. Somehow, I think the key to this case has got to be at Dabian. Oh no, I forgot that there's French people in this. I'm so sorry.
Well then, let's go back there and check it out again.
No.
Oh, and we should drop in on Maggie and see how she's doing too.
Alright. So, anything on your mind?
Actually, there is one thing. There is something. I was wondering about Jean Yop. You know, like what he's like and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Almost forgot about that guy. I oughta beat you so hard it'll feel like you was smooching the express train. Phoenix Wright? You saying you Phoenix Wright? Cause I'm Phoenix Wright. The one and only. Actually, I've learned a little something about my doppelganger.
Huh? You did? What'd you find out?
Oh yeah, Maya was working at the restaurant when I ran into Don Funione. Let's just say he's such a terrible version of me that I wanted to sue for defamation. What's that guy's story anyway? What does he have to gain by impersonating me? Alright.
Looks like Gumshoe's not here.
Never mind that. What's going on here? It feels different in here somehow.
You think?
Yeah, everyone seems to be on edge. What are you doing? Calling the officers for the briefing, quick! Can't you shut down the station server? Chief, quit playing on the internet! But my email pen pal 1337 AZN Princess C. Save it for later. I'm turning it off now. No, 1337 AZN Princesses.
Everyone's keeping busy in here, huh?
Keeping busy, more like panicking if you ask me. Something's going on, something big. Alright. Guess Maggie's still in questioning.
But we've got questions to ask her too. Maggie! Maggie!
Keep it down, Maya. This isn't a playground, you know. It's all bien. It's all bien. January 7th. It's all bien.
Empty as usual.
Yeah, and it's lunchtime too. That's it. Come on, come on, come on. Hey, this sounds like... Oh. Now, just call an 8, pal. Come on, I know you can.
He's getting really worked up about something.
No, that's the wrong number. Ugh. Looks like an 8 would have only netted me $5 anyway. What a ripoff.
What's the problem, Detective Gumshoe?
Huh? Oh, it's you. I was just listening to the radio, pal. To the radio?
Hey, Detective Gumshoe's having lunch here.
He is, and he's having the twin tea set. What can I say? This is a nightmare. How am I supposed to look Maggie in the eye now, pal?
You really drove her into a corner, you know.
You always blow upon my testimony. Why, of all days, didn't you do it today? Sorry, there just weren't any holes in it for once.
Yeah, what happened? Usually your testimonies are like Swiss cheese.
Swiss cheese? Would he have preferred crumbly like aged Parmesan? Anyway, this case has already been ruled on. There shouldn't be any holes left to find. So, did Maggie say anything to you? About me, I mean?
Well, how did she put it again? I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. I hate him, sir. I mean it. I don't ever want to see him again.
He doesn't look happy about the twin teeth.
Something like that.
Aww. Aww.
Please, Detective Gumshoe, I didn't mean...
Why? Why is this happening? He's banging his head against the wall, Nick. Oh, poor Gumshoe. Oh man, poor Gumshoe. Every time. Every time. Every time. Without fail. Oh, Phoenix. So, did you like the twin tea set? I never paid that much money for lunch before. I was so nervous my hands were shaking.
So, how did it taste?
Well, for 20 bucks, I guess. I don't know how to describe it really. It was delicate.
Delicate?
You mean you liked it? It didn't taste bad to you?
What's the matter with him?
Looks like he's thinking. That's it! I've been trying to think of the right word to describe the taste. And I just realized it's bad. That's it. It tasted bad. Just kind of hot. Oh my god, Gumshoe's voice kills me. Like literally. I don't know why. He kills me. He's a murderer, his voice. It's just kind of hard to admit it to yourself when you paid 20 bucks for it, you know? Maybe he should have found out about the price after he had finished eating.
Hey, Nick. Maybe that's why Glenn Elg came here. Maybe he heard about the super fierce twin tea set.
If by fierce you mean fearsome. Speaking of Glenn Elg, that reminds me. We still hardly know anything about the guy.
Why don't we ask Detective Gumshoe what he knows, seeing as he's here? Thank you for the hydrate. So, what were you all excited about earlier?
Huh? That's right, you said you were listening to the radio or something? Oh, that was nothing. I wasn't excited.
Come on, Detective Gumshoe. You can tell it on me. What were you listening to?
Nothing, really. It was just the, daily exercise show. Oh! Do we really gotta break his lock for this? This seems so pointless. What the? Psyche lock? This lunch special's lobster sure is great.
And why are there tears in your eyes?
Okay. You didn't need that hydrate after Gumshoe. He's a murderer. His voice. Should not have given him this voice, but you know, we're sticking with it. The radio. Alright, Detective Gumshoe, tell me the truth. What were you listening to? No, wait, pal. Now that you made a big thing out of it, I'm not gonna tell you. You gotta break his heart for some reason. I don't see the relevance to this at all. We'll see about that, pal. Considering all the noise you were making while you were listening, it's pretty clear what kind of radio program it was. I'd say it was related to... He was clearly listening to the lottery. I mean... Do I have... Yeah, he was clearly listening to the lottery. It was obvious. I thought we figured this out already. I'm right, aren't I? You were listening to the lottery results, weren't you? You thought you'd try to win big, just like Glenn Elg did. It's like you can see right through me. Crazy. Hey, cracked him already? See, pal? That's why I said it was nothing. Then why, if it was so nothing, why did you have to put it behind psyche locks? Alright. I'm usually pretty lucky, so I figured I'd give it a try. What's with everyone in the lottery?
So, how did it go?
I won 50 cents. It'd be better to win nothing at all than half a lousy buck. I was so mad. Yeah, I know the feeling. I bought the same kind of ticket as Mr. Elg, see? And they've got this special radio show where they announce the winning numbers. They even do the drawings live on the air. It's intense, pal.
I bet that's what Mr. Elg was listening to on the day he was killed.
Yeah, what time is it now? It's just after 1:30. And are the lottery results always broadcast at the same time? Yeah. Look, I got this flyer when I bought the ticket. Experience the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life every Monday at 1:30 p.m. Alright. That was the relevance. We got a little piece of evidence out of it.
Millionaire radio? That sounds cool. I want to try it, Nick.
Buy a ticket, Maya, with your own money.
But spirit mediums don't make any money.
This guy was a real programming genius. They called him the walking computer at the place where he worked.
What happened when he crashes, though? Does he just stop moving all of a sudden?
He wasn't literally a computer, Maya. Anyway, there's nothing between Maggie and the victim. Yeah, and that's what we found out yesterday, too.
Hey, Detective Gumshoe, don't you have any information that's a bit more fun?
Fun? Oh, I know. So, have you paid a visit to where Mr. Elg worked yet? You might as well.
His workplace? Where's that?
A computer firm called Blue Screen Inks. Or something like that.
Sounds like a real stable company. This could be fun, Nick. Let's go.
Computers aren't really my thing, Maya.
We'll be fine. I know all about that high-tech stuff.
I wonder about that. Just around the corner from this joint. You should take a look. A computer firm called Blue Screen Inks, huh? Alright, let's go. Let's go. Oh my god. Look at this place.
Wow, this place is so high-tech. You can almost smell the electricity in the air.
It's a computer firm, Maya. They can't work without electricity, you know. Who are you? Oh, it's a girl.
Hello. Oh, hello. I'm sorry. Access is restricted to authorized personnel only.
Honestly, Maya comes across to me as someone who would bully all the nerds in her class back during her high school days.
This is a computer programming laboratory. There are far too many trade secrets that could be leaked. Wow, what secrets? Everything you see here is classified. No information can leave this building. Understood.
Who is this woman? She's like a robot from some kind of whacked educational show.
My name is Lisa Basil.
Oh my god.
I'm the company director.
Director? She's human? She seems more like a ghost in a shell. And that thing over her eye, isn't that the same device as Glenn Elg's?
That's a DMH, right?
Nice try, but it's the other way around, Maya. It's an HMD.
All of my programmers here at Blue Screen Inc. are supplied with HMDs.
HMD's nuts.
Then do you write programs too? No, I just enjoy wearing this. They are pretty cool. I wouldn't mind one.
Alright, can I... Age, question mark, question mark. Lisa Basil, god. I like it better than Glenn Elg, though. It's a better palindrome. It's a better palindrome than Glenn Elg, okay? Lisa Basil. Alright. So what exactly is this firm's business?
I will try to simplify it so that you can understand. We analyze the data management systems required by certain branches of industry, and then deliver optimum operating systems and source-level components to them. Huh? You lost me on the corner of analyze and management.
It doesn't matter, they analyze stuff. You got that much, right?
The software we produce is distributed on CDs. CDs? Yes, compact disc. Digital optical storage media.
Of course, CDs are used for software as well as music.
It is a small firm, but all of my employees are first-class programmers. Let's ask one of them what they are doing. Excuse me, what are you working on right now?
I'm researching the impact of time slicing on logical access to shared global variables. Obviously, program structure beyond influences response time and performance as the core variables and memory overheads is vitally important to success for this experiment.
Well, you get the idea. This is the sort of thing we are involved in. Did you good people follow all of that?
Yeah. Your blank smile just said otherwise, Maya. That's crazy. You know about what happened, right, Mrs. Basil?
You mean about Glenn being poisoned? Yes, I know. It's terrible.
Can you tell us anything that might be helpful?
I don't think so. A police officer was here earlier too. But I couldn't tell him anything either because the waitress who committed the crime has nothing to do with Blue Screen's ink. Oh.
How about Mr. Elg's desk? Have you cleared it out already?
No, not yet. It's this one, right in front of you.
Okay.
If there's anything that might be useful to you, you are welcome to take it.
Okay. I guess there might be a clue here somewhere. Alright, let's look around a bit.
Whoa, look at this desk, Nick! What a mess.
This episode is wild. Looks pretty average to me.
But you can't get any work done with everything all over the place like this.
You think? Real whiz kids can work under any condition, you know? She's trying to hint that I should tidy my desk more. I'll clean up my desk when Maya stops asking silly questions. No hurry then. Phoenix says Hulk clone, people who've stepped out from a science fiction movie, and a creepy old man creeping around a children's play park feeding the pigeons.
Hey, this calendar!
What about it? This is another hint about tidying. You can forget it.
Someone's marked December 3rd in red pen.
December 3rd? That's the day Mr. Elg was murdered. Is there anything else?
Yeah, it says, meet with the tiger.
The tiger? Okay.
Hey, look, Nick, it's a supercomputer. Looks like it's really smart and wise, doesn't it?
Computers are only as smart as the humans who use them, Maya.
That explains why we don't use the computer in our office. You work there too, Maya.
Yeah, but at least I'm...
Please, don't argue about something that's so trivial. Otherwise, the computers will laugh at you.
She said she'd laugh at us, Nick.
She's a human, Maya, not a computer. I don't know, she looks like a computer to me. He's really pounding that keyboard, isn't he?
Wow, I bet that's where the pro and programmer comes from, huh? I guess I shouldn't be resting on my laurels. Gotta expand my skill set and all that.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Maybe I could become Old CD's apprentice.
And what about your spear medium training? Oops.
Wow, look at this mess.
Looks like they're all betting tickets?
What kind of betting tickets?
For betting on which horse will win a given race. They're horse racing tickets.
Oh wow, his drawers are stuffed full of these.
Looks like they're all losing tickets though. Horse racing betting tickets found in Glen Elg's desk. There's over 500 of them.
This many tickets would get you what, $1 down at the recycling center? I didn't know you were so hard up that you try to profit from the dead, Nick.
I'm just taking them as evidence, Maya. About Mr. Elg.
He was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. But he did suffer from 1 or 2 bugs in his personality.
Oh, like what?
What kind of bugs? He was a bit of a loser. Perhaps that would be the best way to describe it. So real. That's what got him into trouble.
What's the matter?
He was a top programmer. I would even say he was a genius. So he was really no trouble at all. A model employee.
Hey, wait a minute. Just now you said something about him being in trouble. Gotta find out what exactly this trouble was. Alright. About Mr. Elg.
Was he in some kind of trouble? I'm sorry. Why would you think that? I thought you said something about it just now. You said he got himself into trouble because he was a bit of a loser.
Oop. Oh, come on. We should have called him Mr. L. 3 psyche locks.
I guess Mr. Elg is like every other man with his own pile of secrets.
Alright.
Huh? Mr. Armstrong's talking to someone.
Ooh.
I'll be back in next month.
Oui, naturellement. I will be waiting for you.
If you haven't got it by then, I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here.
None. I will have everything ready, I promise.
I love fire, you know. I love the way it crackles.
Oh my god, she is so scary. Oh, no. Stop it, I beg you.
Then don't let me down. I'll be watching you.
My non, this is not necessary. You can trust me, mademoiselle.
Talk to anyone, and I'll drive a knife right through your heart.
Oh my god! Your Honor, I found her. I found the murderer.
Oh no, you do not have to worry. You know you worry far too much. Maybe this will help you relax. It is the oil of sandalwood.
I do love raw meat from time to time.
Ah.
Okay, I'll be taking my leave. Goodbye for now.
Okay. Ugh, I have la shivers. I must rub some of my oil all over my body before I become the nervous wreck. There. Oh, oui, that feels good. Oh la la, excusez-moi, monsieur. My eyes, Oh, your eyes? If you have trouble with your eyes, you need this, the oil of sandalwood. Isn't this just the leftovers of what you were just using? Hey boy, this episode is... You don't exactly have many customers, do you, Mr. Armstrong? None. You are right, monsieur. But perhaps that is the perfect time for you to visit me, none? That way I can give you my undivided attention and cook for you la dish supreme.
Putting on a brave face, huh?
That's what girls do, Nick.
But you are right. Business is very difficult these days. Perhaps the name is le problem. People do not understand it. They think it is très. I just want people to think that my restaurant was exclusive.
But they think you just serve fast food on cheap plastic trays?
Nick, that's the kind of thing that can make a girl cry.
Have you forgotten that?
Okay.
No. But this restaurant is my life. It is everything to me. I will defend it to la finale. No one will take it from me.
Okay.
So, who is that woman you were just talking to? Oh la la, you saw that? Yeah, well, yeah, sorry.
So, who was she? She looks so polite and so graceful.
Polite, graceful.
And she likes raw meat and fires, right? I'll be back next month.
Oui, naturellement, I'll be waiting for you.
If you haven't got it by then, I'm afraid it might get a little hot around here.
Oh, no, I will have everything ready, I promise.
Then I think about it. Hey, Maya, I think it's pretty clear what kind of conversation they were having.
You think so? Well, then let's show him that piece of evidence and see what happens.
It's the loan, right?
So long as that paper exists, I am but a delightful angel with la broken wings.
An angel, huh? Doesn't bode well when you think about it.
Oui, they keep harassing me month after month. In the end, I had to give in. I agreed to help them.
Help them? With what?
My bien sûr. If I did not owe them la money, I would have refused. But my hands were tied.
Please, what did you agree to help them with?
I cannot say.
If I tell you that woman, she will slice me up and eat me with raw salad garnish.
Ew. He doesn't mean that he'll literally be sliced up and served with garnish. I'm gonna guess that woman has something to do with your loan contract, am I right?
Ah. Please, Mr. Armstrong, tell us about that woman.
The woman who was here earlier, I take it she's,
Why, as it comes to this, what a tragedy. Suddenly I find myself so deep in law debt, it is a sign of la bad world we live in, huh?
No, I'd say it's more of a sign of la bad culinary skills.
The woman who was here, the scary woman, she is from la loan office.
Loan office? Is that where you borrowed $500,000 from?
Oui, a tender lender, it is called.
Catchy name. Just hearing it makes me want to borrow some money.
Please, you must not borrow from them. If you must, no more than $10.
$10? Sounds like your whole monthly stipend, Maya.
Hey, I get a bit more than that. Thank you very much.
So Tenderlender is the loan office you borrowed $500,000 from, huh?
If they got anything to do with this case.
I am a weak woman. When I am upset, I have to buy something nice to cheer me up. Thanks to him loaning me la money, I have to pay back $500,000 now. I am like a slave. I have to do everything that he tells me.
Who's this he?
La tiger.
The tiger?
Oui, he is the manager of the tender lender. Terrifying man, la big city mobsters. When he shouts at me, my knees are trembling and his voice is ringing in my ears for 3 days. As soon as I hear the noise of that battered old scooter he rides, I start to cry.
A big city mobster who rides a battered old scooter? Does this guy resemble me by any chance?
Oh, no. This man has a presence, a most formidable personality. Although, oui, he does have less buggy hair just like you. Oui, there is a resemblance there, I suppose.
Sounds like this loan office is worth checking out after all.
If you want to visit the tender lender, it is just beyond Vitamin Square.
Hey, Nick? If you need money, I can loan you some.
As long as it's less than $3.
Oh, Maya. Thanks for the offer. Just beyond Vitamin Square, huh? Alright, let's go.
Just beyond.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna head back to the precinct now. We've got a big meeting starting in a bit.
About Maggie's case, you mean?
No, that's pretty much wrapped up now. It's another big case going down at the moment, so she's been pushed aside.
Okay, well, see you later then.
Bye. Bye. Oh, he's faded back into existence. You better get going, detective, or you'll be late. Actually, I've kind of got a favor to ask. It's a big one. A favor? Yeah, it's for, Maggie, actually. I was kind of hoping you'd give this to her for me.
What is it?
It's a lunchbox. I got up early so I could make it. I've been real worried about her. She looked like she'd lost a lot of weight.
Detective Gumshoe. How many weenies are in here? There's not a person on earth who could sit down
who could down this much meat. Okay, Maya. You think? I love weenies. You can't get enough of the tender juiciness. So you give it to her? It took me ages to make, so please say you will, pal. Can't exactly say no, can I? A tenderly handmade lunchbox fills the stomach with love and plenty of weenies. Okay.
Maybe I'll eat it myself if I get hungry.
Don't forget, okay? I'm counting on you to give that to Maggie. Okay. It's finally gone. Alright.
I don't see any sign of Mr. Kudo, do you?
Maybe he went to buy another ton of bird seeds? I was kinda hoping he wouldn't be here anyway. At least not for now. Besides, any more seeds today and I'm liable to turn into a real phoenix. The bike's back.
Hey, check this out.
I wouldn't get too close to that if I were you. Otherwise, you might be in for a shock. My phony must be lurking someplace nearby. Just imagine, a tagger, loose in the city.
Meanwhile, the real Phoenix is like an abandoned chick, lost in the vast urban jungle.
Huh?
Don't worry, someday you'll grow up and become a ferocious tiger too. Don't lose hope.
Why is she trying to pep talk me into becoming my phony?
This place gives off a really strange vibe, doesn't it?
Looks like the tagger isn't in his lair. And that is, as they say, a very good thing.
Welcome.
Talk about a creepy voice. Makes your soul want to shrivel up and die. Jeez.
You're here to discuss alone?
No, not exactly.
The manager is away at the moment. Wait quietly, please. She's gone, just like that.
I guess we'll just have to come back another time.
But this is the perfect opportunity, Nick. This place reeks of suspicion. Come on, Nick. Let's take a look around, okay?
Do you think it'd be okay?
Of course. No one will ever know. Coffee? I'll leave it here for you to enjoy. Quietly.
Yes, thank you.
Do not touch the desk, please. Okay. Let's touch the desk. Let's touch the desk. Let's touch the desk. Nick, let's get out of here.
Now she wants to get out of here. Alright, let's touch everything.
What's this?
It's a punching bag.
What? No way. You want to catch me walking around with a bag like that?
What do you mean walking around?
The design's gross to start with, and it's way too heavy to be practical. And why is it called a punching bag? Don't people know messenger bags are in? I knew it! I was right before. Look at trop bien. Paris is more my thing.
I really, really hope she's pulling my train on this one. Win through compromise?
I wonder what that's supposed to mean.
It must mean something if they took the trouble to frame it like that.
Yeah, well, it still doesn't make any sense to me.
Oh.
That... That's Tenderlunder's guiding principle. Oh!
Okay.
Compromise the customer to win.
Oh,
I see. How about you, Nick?
Yeah, well, as long as we don't have to compromise my hair, I say we're okay. That's one slogan no business owner should ever have to explain to their customers.
Okay. Let's see, this round doll thing is called a Daruma, I think. I figured I'd read a book or two and be more cultured in case you're wondering.
You mean you aren't making stuff up for a change?
I bet you also didn't know that no matter what, he'll always right himself. Go on, Nick. Give him a good shove.
Only if I feel like dying.
Now, this yellow thing, this is a Japanese chess piece. I think it's a king. Not that I'm an expert or anything. I'm more of a reverse-y person, you know? Reverse-eye.
Assuming she knows what she's talking about, these aren't exactly your typical mobster wannabe items. Not trophies, are they?
Hey! There's a piece of paper sticking out from under here.
What is it, a repair bill? Looks like he did some repair work on his car. Does he even have one? $15,000 to replace a bumper and a light? That's insane.
The car's registered to the Cadaverinis?
And so it's not even the tagger's car? Why would someone else's repair bill be in the tagger's office? Okay. Interesting. That's one impressive desk on one impressive rug.
It's solid gold, Nick. Gold, just look at that shine. Only real gold shines like that.
Did you really want such a shiny desk, though?
I don't know, but let's see what it's like to sit at a solid gold desk. Wow, I'm completely dazzled.
That's because it's completely dazzling.
I can see up my nose in the reflection. That's gotta be really distracting.
So the desk isn't practical, no surprise there. There's a CD player on the desk, but the desk is so loud it's a wonder you can hear it.
The lid's open. Wonder what kind of music the tiger's into.
Have you finished the coffee? Ah! Yeah, thanks, it was lovely. So, you drank it all? Did she poison it? If you touch anything else that doesn't belong to you, there's always another cup. Oh my god. She just threatened us. That coffee was laced with something, I'm almost sure of it.
Nick, my stomach, it's killing me. Oh, wait. Maybe it's just the burger I ate for breakfast.
I sure hope so. We better take a look at that CD while we're still alive and have the chance. What the?
What? It's not the Rocco soundtrack, is it? Claw of the Tiger?
It's a demo CD. The artist's name has been handwritten on the disc in pen. MC Bomber.
What?
It's supposed to be the CD Maggie told us about.
Let's listen to it. I bet it's heavy metal.
No way. That woman will make us drink more coffee if we do. Interesting.
Oh no, someone's dropped the ashtray on the floor. That's gonna be a nightmare to clean up.
Yeah, it's all over the rug and everything.
I accidentally knocked over a really big space heater once. Cleaning up was such a pain. It was one of those super antiques where you have to burn a ton of charcoal.
How did she manage to knock one of those over? Aren't they supposed to be super heavy?
Oh hey! There's a book of matches here too.
Matches, huh? Places don't give those out much nowadays. Hey, wait a second.
What is it?
Look what's been printed on its cover. It says, Tourbillon. Tourbillon matches added to the court record. Matches used for advertising found lying in Tenderlander. Interesting. These matches can come in handy. We might be able to use them.
Yeah! The pilot light for the office boiler keeps going out.
Swing and a miss, Maya. Swing and a miss.
Hey, look at this Parisian style coat. It's so chic.
Looks more like a pimp coat to me. I guess I haven't got an eye for fashion.
Hey, look at this.
Welcome back.
This suit is the same color as the one you wear, Nick.
The same color as my suit?
Ah!
Keep your voice down, Maya.
Nick! You gotta take a look at this.
Some cake?
Ah!
I'll just leave it here for you.
Yeah, sure. Thanks.
Yeah. Just wait here quietly. Otherwise...
Sure. Did you hear that, Nick? Wait quietly, she said.
Yeah, sure. I have my eye on you. Only so I can take care of you. Understand?
Oh, I'm scared, Nick.
So, what were you getting so excited about before?
Look, on the lapel of this suit.
That's an attorney's badge.
Is the tiger a lawyer?
No way, look at this thing, it's made of paper. Found a Tenderlander made of cardboard and painted to look authentic.
For some reason, your badge suddenly looks really cheap to me, Nick.
Why doesn't anyone recognize an obviously fake badge when they see one? What was that? Ah! Come out from under the desk, Maya. What you two snoop around my office for? Nothing. We were just... Ugh, my precious carpet. You's got ash on my rug. You gonna wish your ugly feet never came through my door. It wasn't us. It was just already like this. Yous wanna argue with me? Is that what you're doing? You think yous can take me on? I'm gonna flatten yous two into pancakes and turn yous into my new rugs. Oh. Don't
Don Tigre, you're back.
There's a voice. It's like evil seeping into your head through your ears.
I'm sorry, Don Tigre. I knocked over that ashtray earlier and...
She got a death wish or what? Oh, right. Huh? Forget about it, Violetta. It's nothing. What? I ain't gonna get mad at you. You too cute, you hear? That's so unfair.
Here, have some cookies. I just baked them. And you'll need some strong espresso while you're discussing your loan.
Okay. Ugh, Phoenix Wright. Yes? You's either crazy or just plain stupid to chase after me. I worked so hard, but now you's gotta come and mess up my plan. So it was him. He's my phony. Yeah, wasn't it obvious? But I don't care. No one gets in my way. What? I mean, excuse me? You should have left the little girl at home, right? I have a few things to work. No questions. This is the last time we meet. Wait, please.
That was pretty weak, Nick.
You waited until he was out of earshot before you shouted after him. It's based of him. Like you're one to talk. I didn't hear you scream, hold it either. Hold it.
The espresso. And cookies.
This woman is definitely not good for my heart. Now, what was it the tagger called her? Violetta? Alright, has she been added to the thing? Violetta, age question mark. Possibly part of the staff at Tender Lender, a thoroughly bitter person. Interesting. So, I'm kind of curious about your company, Tender Lender.
With the warm and friendly atmosphere you'd expect from a family-sized business. Conscientious rate of interest and an attractive repayment policy.
Why do I get the feeling this sentence is not going to end well?
We will tenderly lend you that little bit of extra here at Tender Lender. Hey Nick, things are a bit tight for Wright & Co. at the moment, aren't they? I mean, there's that $500 you owe me from our card game for starters. Why don't you take out a loan?
Would I like to take out a loan from a place like this? Not so much.
Tender Lender is on your side.
So, let's say I'm late with my repayment. What happens then?
We'd give you more coffee. Strong coffee.
Right. I think I'd rather skip town.
Hey, just remember I can make strong coffee too, Nick. Strong tea as well. Okay.
So, do you know about the incident we're investigating?
What incident?
Well, a man was poisoned in a restaurant just near here. That incident? You remember how you just said you would poison our coffees and kill us? Well, the same thing happened to him.
Let me see. I was here that day with the manager.
The manager being the tagger?
Furio Tigre.
Furio?
Tigre? So that's where the tagger thing comes from.
Johnny Up's got a real name, Nick. Hurry up and find out more about him.
Godot would be late all the time if that was the consequence. Okay, let's find out more about him. Has he been finally added as a person? Oops. Yep. Furio Tigre, age 42, the head of the Tender Lender. Oh, loan company, also known as the Tagger. Alright. Okay. Can I ask you about the Tagger? I mean, Mr. Tigre.
Cookie?
Sure.
How do you like my cookies? I baked them myself.
Go ahead, Nick. The honor is all yours.
No. Ladies first, Maya.
No matter how I look at this, I just don't get it. What are the Tagger and this scary girl doing working together?
We are lovers.
It's not exactly coming across in your tone of voice.
And I owe Don Tigre my life. He's the one who saved me.
The tiger saved you?
Please address him properly as Don Tigre. Otherwise, I'll have to.
Okay, Don Tigre, of course, I'm sorry. He saved her life? I'd sure like to know how that happened. Please, tell me more.
I'm very frail, you see. Just recently, I died once.
You died?
About 4 months ago. The doctor said to abandon all hope.
I guess they were expecting her to take a boat ride across the river Styx.
But Don Tigre, he saved me. He gave up everything. He pulled me out of that river.
Everything?
When I found out what he had done for me, I was happy.
No offense, but I'm finding that a little hard to believe.
I decided to pay him back with my life by serving him coffee and espresso.
Still wonder what's in her coffee. So, is that why you've got that bandage around your head?
This?
So what's the story with the bandage?
They put it on after the operation.
Operation?
It's just a little injury. A little fatal injury.
A fatal injury?
Maya just suffered one herself by the sound of it. So, that's the injury you were talking about before when you said you had died once? Oh, secrets. Oh, oh no, it's a heavy secret.
Ugh, she really creeps me out, Nick.
Same here, but we gotta find out the truth. Hey boy. Alright.
There he is. Old Seedy's back feeding the pigeons again. Please, God, no. There, take this, and get out of my park.
Like I thought, he's really mad. Come on, Maya, just keep your head down and let's sneak away while we still can.
What? Why? Hello, old man. What are you doing, Maya?
Huh?
Hey, he just turned his back on us.
I'm not surprised. I bet I really hurt his pride in court this morning.
Hey, Mr. Kudo.
Pigeon.
Look, we really need to talk to you, alright? Out with it, demons. In with good fortune. Ow. See, shell splinters. Painful.
I always knew you were a demon, Maya. So true. Look at her. Alright. I'm sorry about what happened in court earlier today.
Ha! Everyone will be talking about me behind my back now.
That dirty old man who was so busy looking at the serving girl's backside
that he can't remember her face, a filthy, depraved animal.
Not at all.
Are you listening to me, boy? I don't care what you say. I saw that waitress put it in. She put some white powder into the young lad's javakino.
We hear you.
And another thing, that young layabout was wearing an earpiece on the same side as the lens of his broken spectacles.
We're really sorry.
So I made a little mistake about the vase. So what? I know what I saw. I tell you.
Okay. Take it easy, please, Mr. Kudo.
Don't tell me to take it easy, you spiky-haired brat. Take this. Take that.
You said you were a craftsman, right?
Ha! The modern world casts honest craftsmen like me aside in droves.
Surely it's not that.
I come from a long line of craftsmen, right back to the time of the shoguns. Do you hear me? I didn't become an embroiderer, I was born one.
Actually, I'm kind of in the same situation myself.
I wanted to stick my fingers up that dribbling old judge's nose, okay? And scream right down his ear hole, objection!
Oh, so did you want to become a lawyer when you were young? I don't think that's quite it, Maya. I think he's just in a bad mood. That's all.
I've got a tsunami of frustration inside and it's ready to burst out.
If we let him start rambling now, we might never shut him up. What should I do? Just deal with it. Guess I better let him talk. So there's not much call for craftsmen these days, then?
Of course not, you idiot. All I'm good for nowadays is running errands.
Errands?
Everyone takes advantage of the elderly. Buy some bread, Gramps. Take the dog for a walk, Granddad. Feed the pigeons, old man. What am I, some sort of 2-bit community handyman?
Well...
Buy some bread, now that I can understand. But what's the point of feeding some city pigeons? Why don't people say what they mean? Get lost, that's what they're trying to say. Oh, yes, I'm just an inconvenience, you see. At home at that restaurant, I just get in the way, don't I? I'm sure you don't. Ooh. Wait a minute, what did he just say? At home and at that restaurant?
Oh, hold up. By restaurant, you talking about Sabian? Did you get asked to run an errand there too?
Yes, I did. The very day that young brat was poisoned.
What? Ooh. So on the day of the incident, what were you asked to do?
Glad you asked, boy, because I'll tell you what I was asked to do. All of a sudden, that young lad slumped over the table. The serving girl collapsed. And I broke that vase. It all happened so fast, I was in a bit of a daze, you see. Then the owner shouted over to me.
Oh, excusez-moi, you. Call the police.
Call them yourself, I should have said back, but I didn't think of it at the time.
So, did you end up calling the police?
Like I said, I was in a bit of a daze.
Did you call them on your cell phone?
Ha! Do I look like I'd have one of those newfangled thingamajigs? I went out looking for a payphone, of course.
You went looking for one?
I couldn't find one right away, you know. Wandered around for 5 minutes or so.
5 minutes?
So for 5 minutes after the incident happened,
yes, sirree, the owner was at Trobion on his own.
Why didn't you mention this in court this morning?
Well, I would have if you had given me the chance. But you all bullied me out of the courtroom.
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today.
Wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more. I've got more to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else.
Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
It's not my fault. You're the ones to blame.
You could have at least told us before we got to court.
Is it really that important that Mr. Kudo was the one who called the police?
I guarantee it is. What's important is the unaccounted time before the police arrive. The victim was dead, and Maggie was unconscious, which leaves that woman, that man, alone in the restaurant. Mr. Kudo might have been chased out of the place on purpose.
What do you mean?
Maybe a certain someone didn't want him in the restaurant.
Oh, sure, you go ahead and say I was in the way as usual. I suppose I could have been getting myself covered in pigeon poop instead,
We need to get more details about what exactly happened from Maggie and from Mr. Armstrong. Jeez.
Oh, Mr. Wright!
Hello, Maggie. So they finished questioning you?
Wasn't it just unbelievable in court today, sir? I'm gonna stay up all night and blog about everything that happened. Aren't you scared? It's pretty touch and go in there.
Yeah, but you totally nailed that old man. Well, he was all over the place with his testimony.
He's not the only one. Huh? What do you mean?
Everyone else's testimonies don't match up either. Not with what I remember of the incident anyway. Is it possible she is the one misremembering things? Anyway, we got a lunch for you. Oh yeah, I've got something you're gonna love.
Really? What is it?
A lunchbox, just for you. Here.
Wow, a lunchbox. Weenies too. I can't believe it. Thank you, sir. Did you make this just for me, Mr. Wright? Nah, it's Detective Gumshoe. Who else would make such a nice lunchbox for you? Detective Gumshoe? He's really worried about you. Looks like you put a lot of effort into making this too. I can't accept it. Detention center rules. No gifts allowed, sir.
Hey, come on, Maggie. Don't be like that.
The rules are the rules. They'll lock you up if you break them.
Somehow, when an ex-cop turned waitress says that, it seems a whole lot scarier. And anyway,
I hate weenies.
Oh, really?
It's all yours, Maya. You can enjoy it with Mr. Wright. But...
She's right. It's better than letting them go to waste.
but I guess so.
Gumshoe's lunchbox eaten with Maya. Alright.
Well, how was it?
That hit the spot. I love weenies. I bet you do, Phoenix.
Oh, good. I'm glad I gave it to you then, sir.
Alright. Is there anything else we should show her?
I feel much better after the trial. I feel much better after the trial this morning. Boo! Jump scare. I've been a bit of a courtroom proceedings addict for years now. It feels like forever since I saw that witness as slippery as that old man.
He's not really that bad of an old man, though. Yes, he is, Maya. He's the worst.
Still, I feel a bit uneasy. Huh? I thought you just said you felt much better.
Maggie, if there's something on your mind, you've got to tell us. Especially if it has anything to do with Mr. Kudo or his testimony.
Roger, I'll spill it all and see what you can make of it.
Okay.
Maggie, you know how you said that everyone else provided testimony that doesn't match up with what you remember? Yep, there are just so many things that don't seem to add up. The biggest contradiction is the other guy I saw at the victim's table. He was the one who slipped something into the victim's coffee. I'm sure it was him.
Didn't Mr. Kudo testify earlier today that it was the waitress who put some white powder into the coffee cup?
So you really think it was this disappearing man that did it? Well, he's not the only thing that disappeared. The CD vanished as well. You know the CD with the writing on it? Oh yeah, the MC Screwdriver album, right?
It was MC Bomber, Maya. The name was scrawled on the sports paper as well.
They never did find that CD at the crime scene, sir.
Or the victim's medication that's gone missing too.
Oh, my head. This is getting way too complicated for me.
You said that you passed out when the victim, Glenn Elg, collapsed, right?
Yeah, it's so embarrassing. I mean, I used to be a cop. When I came to, the restaurant was buzzing with police. Before I knew what was going on, they arrested me, sir.
So, between the time the victim collapsed and the time the police arrived on the scene, you have no idea what went on at Trabian?
No idea at all. Why? Is it important, Mr. Wright?
The other witness, the old man from the park, was pretty much chased out of the picture.
Chased out of the picture? What do you mean? Well, CD wasn't inside the restaurant because he was told to go call the police.
Exactly. And you, Maggie, were unconscious. That means Mr. Armstrong was alone in the restaurant for a brief period of time.
No. You don't think Mr. Armstrong set me up, do you?
When you consider the facts, it's hard to imagine that Mr. Armstrong isn't involved in this at all.
Oh, so like the master biting the paw of the dog that it feeds. Are you sure about this, Mr. Wright?
Well, the old man said as much when we spoke with him earlier.
I don't know. The things that man says don't add up for some reason, sir.
Maggie looks like she's trying to figure something out.
Maybe we should ask Maggie exactly what she knows about old Seedy.
Is there anything about Mr. Kudo's testimony that stood out as odd to you?
Actually, yes. The fact that he was even testifying to begin with doesn't quite what? Well, when I took the coffee over to the victim's table, it's true that there was another customer in the restaurant.
Yeah, we know that already. It was Victor Kudo.
But I can't really say it was an old man. Okay, then how about calling him a really old middle-aged man?
Maya's the best. I love Maya.
No, age isn't the issue. The other customer was a woman.
Ooh. A woman?
Are you sure, Maggie? Well, I'm not 100% sure, but I think so. So, what did this woman look like? She was sort of creepy. She had kind of a cackling laugh.
Creepy?
Cackling?
Why do I get the feeling I've come across a woman like that recently? Ooh, interesting. The main server just went up in smoke! Why the heck isn't the press conference set up yet? The superintendent's here already! Yeah, and there's a problem with the internet, too. I already told you to stop using your computer, Chief. But I'm watching videos online. I'm catching up on my Asian soap operas. It's gonna have to wait, Chief. I'm throwing the switch. No! Just when some young guy was about to confess to his son's hot-to-trot girlfriend.
Wow, this place is really buzzing.
Something must be going down. Something really big. Huh? What are you doing here, pal?
Detective Gumshoe!
You can't be here right now. You'll be roped into that briefing if you stay. Huh? We got big problems here today.
Why? What's going on?
It's a virus. A virus? There's a virus ripping through the precinct's computer system. I really need to ask you some questions.
But I'm gonna ask you guys some questions.
Okay, I'm only gonna say this once, so listen up.
Yes!
No matter how poor you get, never borrow money from a place like this, you hear?
Okay.
If you got money trouble, just go on a diet of instant noodles and hang in there. We're not thinking about borrowing money, Detective. We want information. Oh, is that all? Well, let's see. Tender lender is considered to be even fishier than the average illegal loan shark. And it seems I ran into trouble just recently. Those guys have been pretty heavy-handed calling in all their debts.
Really?
I'm sure this virus isn't relevant to the plot. Nah. Don't go poking your nose around in their business, pal. You'll really regret it if you upset that lady. Alright, I get the picture. Hey, wait a minute. What did he just say? That lady?
Who's this lady he's talking about, Nick?
I think I know. We better find out what the story is with this lady. I think I know. Is it this lady? That's the girl who works over at Tender Lender. You want to stay away from her, okay? I mean it.
So, she does look kind of unforgiving, doesn't she?
That should be the least of your worries, pal. What's that supposed to mean? What could be worse? Her name's Viola Cadaverini. She's the only granddaughter of Bruto Cadaverini.
Bruto Cadaverini? Do you know who that is, Nick?
Never heard of him. Bruto Cadaverini's the boss of the Cadaverini family. The Cadaverinis! Now I know! Why didn't you say before? That's one scary sounding name. You can't touch them. They're way too powerful for the police. But you're thinking of taking them on, aren't you? No, I don't remember ever saying I was going to. Better get some more info about out of Gumshoe about this family. Ew. I'm not sure if I really want to get involved in this, but who are the Cadaverinis? Who are they? Scary bunch of people, that's who. You're a cop and you're scared? What's that about? Trust me, it doesn't matter if you're a kid or a cop, these guys are scary. They got some serious clout in the criminal underworld. We can't touch them. They got too much moolah. Moolah is in... They pretty much control all the cash on the city's black market. The black market, huh?
And that includes Tenderlunder, I take it?
Sure. No one stands up to brutal cadaverini, and I mean no one. Interesting.
So Viola's the granddaughter of some mafia boss, then?
Yeah, and everyone knows how much Bruto loves his little girl. She means everything to him. So, how did she end up at a Tenderlunder? I don't know, pal. But I heard she and the boss of Tenderlunder are pretty tight.
Tight?
That's what it said in file I read related to Maggie's case. Sounds like a pretty important clue. Interesting. Stream. Detective Gumshoe, I'm about this. What? I'm trying to... Oh, wow! This is it! This stupid name, I remember now. I thought so. Here it comes.
Don't just nod to yourself, Nick, and keep me in the dark, Nick. Don't just nod to yourself and keep me in the dark, Nick. What's going on?
It's okay, Maya. You don't have to cry about it. Why is she crying? The name's scribbled on that sports paper and written on that CD. That's the name of the virus, MC Bomber.
What?
Yeah, that virus that's just infected every computer in the station, pal. It's MC Bomber. Can you give us any more details? Please?
So what exactly is a computer virus, Detective Gumshoe?
I don't know. So based.
What?
Look, I just go with the flow, alright, pal? Here I thought detectives were supposed to be somewhat knowledgeable. What's with that face, pal? You think you know what a virus is?
Well, Nick, do you?
A computer virus? Sure. I mean, only in simple terms, of course.
Really? Wow, you know everything, Professor Nick.
Yeah, I'm gonna call you Dr. Wright from now on.
Hey, that sounds pretty cool. Don't you agree, Dr. Wright?
Why do I get the feeling they're making fun of me? Okay, fine, I'm no expert, but I can at least explain the basics to the two of you. Thanks, Phoenix. Please, tell everyone what a virus is. A virus is a program that gets inside a computer and causes damage. Damage? You don't mean it makes the machine go boom and explode? No, the damage is, well, it's all internal.
So the inside goes boom, right?
Yeah, exactly. Imagine all the case data you've got stored on your PCs here in the station. A virus could wipe out all of that. That's the kind of damage I'm talking about. I thought Phoenix knew nothing about computers. What is this? Why does he suddenly know all this now?
Whoa, that's scary.
Yeah, and what's even more scary is that the viruses are infectious.
Infectious?
Most computers are connected through together on a network, right? A virus can move from one machine to another over the network. So the virus just keeps spreading faster and faster. It's like a real virus, huh?
But Nick, why would anyone want to make a program like that?
Yeah, it takes ages to type in all that data. Why would you want to destroy it, pal? No, people don't infect their own machines. They send the virus to someone else's.
What? That's horrible. Who would do such a thing?
Oh, I get it. It's like you sneezing on Mr. Godot so he catches a cold.
Right, then he wouldn't be able to turn up in court because he'd be too sick. You really shouldn't do stuff like that, Nick. It's wrong.
Yeah, Nick, what the heck? What, where, when and why did the conversation jump to talking about me? Anyway, that's what a computer virus is. A bad program that causes damage. And all that different viruses have names, right? I kind of feel like I've heard the name of the virus we caught somewhere before. The name of the virus, I feel like I've heard it somewhere before too. Yeah, we already got there. We already knew about the MC Bomber virus from a while back. A group of criminals issued a series of demands to the head honcho of law enforcement. They threatened to release the virus if the demands weren't met.
Who are they?
I don't know. Some hotshots from the criminal underworld would be my guess. And now the virus has been released, huh? Yeah, it's in every computer and every public office in the city. Everyone's going nuts. They're hopping around like they're dancing at a carnival.
All this stuff with criminals and viruses, it almost feels like we're in a sci-fi movie.
Apparently, the program who made the virus was a real genius or something. The focus right now is on tracing the route of this virus on the black market. You mean someone put this virus up for sale? Yeah, and because this one's so powerful, they're estimating its price tag was in the millions of dollars, pal. The millions? A virus can be worth that much? Contains the computer virus. I can't believe it. I almost forgot the most important thing. And that is, you know, the lunchbox. How did everything go? Lunchbox?
You remember the weenies?
I hate weenies. Oh yeah, those weenies. So how my weenies taste when they went down the hatch?
Huh? Well, it was delicious.
Yeah? That's what she said? Really? Well, not exactly. Don't worry about it, pal. I figured something would happen, so I came prepared. Prepared? What do you mean? I made a jumbo lunchbox. Oh. Do me a favor again, huh, pal, and deliver this? It sure is a heavy burden, in more ways than one. I can just imagine Maggie's little eyes sparkling with joy when you bring her that.
Weenies again, Nick?
Tell me we don't have to eat all these, too. A tenderly handmade lunchbox fills the stomach with love and plenty of weenies. Aw. I really can't eat anymore. Alright. Alright, let's see if we can crack her. Meow. Glenn's troubles. Maggie's a jerk. So, how about you tell me what kind of trouble Mr. Elg was in?
I'm sorry, sir, but we don't deal with troubleshooting here. Perhaps you'd like to speak to someone in customer service?
What you talking about? I guess I better just take a shot and see where it gets me. Miss Basil, let me ask you something. Did Mr. Elg's trouble have something to do with this?
What is that?
A lottery ticket. There were a ton of these on the victim's table at the scene of the crime.
And what is the relevance of that?
Does he have a gambling addiction? The victim, Mr. Glenn Elg, had a gambling habit, didn't he? Knew it!
I don't think that's a logical conclusion based on the facts.
Everyone dreams.
Being rich, even I listen to millionaire radio.
She's right, that is a bit weak on its own. Mr. Elg's gambling wasn't restricted to the lottery, was it? He also did horse racing. Where's the horse racing tickets? There they are. Lottery, horse racing, he bought a bunch of tickets and lost a lot of times. It's gotta have hurt his wallet pretty bad, don't you think? Maybe bad enough to be the cause of some pretty serious trouble, perhaps?
No. You are right. Glenn did have a gambling habit. You good people must not follow his example, do you understand?
Trust me. Even if I wanted to, I don't exactly have the money to buy any.
But if you win, there's no problem, is there? And Glenn had a winning ticket, didn't he? For $500,000.
Yeah, but
it's hard to imagine how he could have been in trouble then, isn't it?
It's true that Mr. Elg won $500,000 in the end. That was his first stroke of good luck. He was in deep trouble before that.
Deep trouble? What do you mean?
Mr. Elg's real problem was with someone or something more terrifying and ferocious.
Some might call him a tiger.
Oh wait, we never read about the Cadaverini guy. Bruto Cadaverini, age 78, the head of the Cadaverini family's crime syndicate, seems to live for his daughter. Oh, we got her age. Age 25. A granddaughter of crime boss, Bruto Cadaverini, a thoroughly British, bitter person. The CEO of Blue Screen saying Glenn Elg's boss, absolutely not a robot. I love it. You should have picked Maya Fey. That would have been hilarious. Virio Tigre, the boss of a loan office called Tender Lender.
Tender Lender? People with businesses should think harder before naming their offices.
Like you're one to talk. Well, what do you think?
Our firm is doing very well at the moment. I don't think we need to borrow money.
No. I mean about Mr. Elg.
You think Glenn had something to do with this Furio Tigre?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know of any connection between the two of them.
Really? Because I've got proof that Mr. Elg and the tiger knew each other. They knew each other all right.
It was on his calendar to meet with the tiger.
Furio Tigre, aka the Tiger, is the boss of a loan office called Tender Lender. This is who Mr. Elg met with on the day of his murder. And the only thing a loan shark would talk with him about would be his debt.
No. It's true that Glenn had racked up a bit of debt from his gambling habit. About $100,000, I think.
$100,000? Ouch.
But I heard he won the lottery, so he should have been in the clear.
Shame Maggie couldn't get a bit of that good luck. Okay, so the guy got lucky and won the lottery. But what if he hadn't won? What was his plan then?
Well, this isn't easy to say, but he said he would use his talents to repay the money.
His talents?
I suspect he was talking about programming.
What computer program is worth $100,000?
Perhaps you good people should leave so I can get back to my work.
Ooh, so close to cracking her. The program in question, was it by any chance this? It's gotta be MC Bomber, right? Well, this is it, isn't it? This is the virus that's infecting computers worldwide as we speak. MC Bomber.
No!
Got her.
Glenn's head had more processing power than any computer, but it had been infected with a gambling virus. Glenn was in too deep.
You mean he was in debt?
Yes, $100,000 in debt, not an easy amount to repay. So, he said he was taking on some extra work. Something a bit risky.
Risky? How?
Maybe he was gonna become a waitress at Trabian?
Where do you come up with these ideas? She just says things. So it's safe to say Mr. Elg was the creator of this virus, huh?
The MC Bomber virus, yes. It was the work of a genius. In a bad sort of way, of course, but still genius. Something like that would probably fetch several $1 million on the black market.
Inconceivable. Gumshoe was right for a change.
This date, December 3rd, that is marked on his calendar. That was his deadline for repaying his debts.
Potentially worth millions of dollars. I guess we won't be needing these horse racing tickets anymore. Glenn Elk's losing horse racing tickets thrown back onto the floor.
Use the trash can, Nick!
Interesting. Interesting. Let's see if we can crack her. Ooh, I forgot how many she had. Alright, let's see. We gotta be able to do it, right? You said that bandage around your head was from an operation? You also said you suffered a fatal injury to the head, correct?
Yes, the operation was very difficult, apparently.
Now, by fatal injury, you mean you were hurt very badly somehow, right? Did the injury in question have something to do with this? Okay. Break her heart before she breaks. Just for you. What are we? We can do one. We'll do one. What joke object are we presenting to her? Go ahead. I figure the actual option is supposed to be the repair bill. That's what I'm assuming. Okay. But just for you, we'll present Maya Fey. Well.
Donuts?
Huh?
I baked them myself. Homemade donuts.
Oh, I don't know why I'm doing the computer voice for her.
Have one.
What's inside?
Jam and...
I'm sorry, but I didn't quite catch that. Thanks, but no thanks. I think I'll pass. Guess that was a flop. It was worth it. Dang, no Maya.
What would have happened to this woman to have such a huge bandage around her head? There must be some piece of evidence that'll prompt her to tell me what happened. Alright, alright. You hurt? Yeah. Alright, this is the repair bills. I have here a car repair bill. Imagine she stabs you if you're wrong. From this, it seems pretty obvious that this car was involved in an accident.
Let me see that. This bill is made out to the Cadaverinis?
Yes, it is.
I don't think I ever introduced myself. Tell me, what do you the Cadaverinis have to
Do with me. It's literally your name. Something tells me she's not about to say hi and introduce herself. Alright then. Your relationship with the Cadaverinis is very strong, and this is why. Your name is Viola Cadaverini. We got it. I know exactly who you are, Viola Cadaverini. You sustained that injury in a traffic accident, didn't you?
It happened about 4 months ago. I was driving in one of our family's car when someone pulled out in front of me.
Oh.
It was a motorbike or something like that. I don't remember it much. Anyway, I swerved to try to avoid it, but... I took a blow to the head. A bad one.
Yeah, I can imagine. So what happened to the person on the bike? I'm guessing they didn't get away with injuring the Viola Cadaverini, right?
I don't know what happened to them. They ran away, or so I heard.
Ran away?
If they'd stayed, I'd have...
Is it possible? Could the person who committed the hit and run have been... I'm assuming from the silhouette we just saw. It was this man, wasn't it? He was the cause of your accident.
It wasn't Don Tigre. I refuse to believe it.
Ooh.
We collided. The motorbike and my car. But Don Tigre isn't injured at all, is he?
It was the tagger who caused Viola to crash. I can feel it. Just one of her locks just broke. So she must suspect it was him too. Ooh. I'm sorry, Miss Cadaverini, but I have proof that the tagger was involved in a traffic accident on his bike. I mean, just look at his bike. Look at it. Just look at it. It's rough. It's not exactly a motorbike, but Mr. Tagger rides around on a scooter, doesn't he? And you'll notice that the front wheel guard is badly damaged. Miss Cadaverini? You know the truth, don't you? This repair bill was paid by Furio Tigre. The Cadaverinis have known for ages who caused the accident, haven't they?
It's possible, perhaps. Somewhere inside of me,
I know that may be true. I knew it.
But Don Tigre still saved my life. The operation was very complicated. It was very, very expensive.
How much are we talking?
Very, very, very expensive.
She seems kind of hesitant about giving me an actual figure. I should back off. Well, anyway, it was the tagger who paid for it, right?
After I recovered, Don Tigre told me. He said he paid for the operation because he cared about me. I believe him.
Really? But do you honestly believe that to be true? Do you want to know what I think? I think the reason he paid for the operation wasn't because of you, but someone else. Maya Fey. No, it's her grandfather, right? Perhaps I shouldn't be saying this, but your grandfather, Bruto Cadaverini, controls a lot of dubious cash, right? And you are his beloved pride and joy? Sure, I don't know exactly how much the operation cost, but if you weren't the granddaughter of Mr. Cadaverini, do you think Mr. Tigre would have paid the money?
$1 million.
Ooh. Ooh. Maya Fey would definitely take over the mafia in this town.
4 months ago, I was in a traffic accident. That's why I needed the operation. When I woke up, they told me it was nothing serious. A simple procedure.
Oh, really? Well, I guess if she recovered in 4 months, it couldn't have been too big.
They said the operation cost $1 million.
$1 million?
My grandfather ordered Don Tigre to pay. $1 million in compensation. Compensation, huh?
It's underworld lingo for paying money to settle a score. Basically, pay or get into some serious trouble. But $1 million bucks? This has to be related to our poisoning case somehow.
I wanted to believe him. I wanted to trust what Don Tigre said. He said it had nothing to do with my grandfather being Bruto Cadaverini. I wanted to believe he helped me because he cared about me, not about my grandfather.
Aw.
Oh, but I knew that wasn't really true.
Oh, I love her so much. She's so...
Oh, I'm so sorry. What he did to get the money was evil. He said it was all for me, so I helped him. You helped him? In what way? Here, take these.
What are these, medical papers?
I'm Bruto Cadaverini's granddaughter. He had to pay compensation. He was made an offer he simply couldn't refuse.
Viola's medical papers out of the court record. A $1 million bill for cranial surgery payment was due last year.
No, I feel so bad for Viola.
It's inexcusable.
Huh?
Aw. There are two things that I consider inexcusable. Poisoning and betrayal. Only a coward would hurt people using either of these tactics. Aw.
Is everything alright, Nick?
We should get going. Right after we finish our espresso.
Hold on, let me take my coffee. Yeah.
I won't need to convince Viola of anything else, so I guess I can get rid of this. Repair bill thrown into the trash. Okay, that could have been useful, but fine. Whatever.
Hey, Bonjour! I have been waiting for you to return. Mr. Armstrong!
Good timing. I was hoping to find you here. We'd like to ask you a few questions. Well, he hasn't got anything to say to you fellas.
Hi, it's Ginny Ope.
Who you calling Zinny Ope? I'm out from under the table already, Maya. Okay, hand it over. What? You just want to play games with me? I don't recommend that. The medical papers, now. Uh-oh, I think he wants Viola Cadaverini's papers back.
You mean this? The $1 million medical papers?
Miss Cadaverini trusted you. That's why she said that she helped you. Forget about it. That girl's dumber than an eggplant. Yous wanna know what's sad? I tell yous what's sad. And it ain't only her face. Oh my god, this guy's the worst. Lock him up. She thinks she's got power because she's Bruto's little girl. Now that's sad. Can't let you have these papers. Tomorrow in court, I'm gonna expose what you did to get the $1 million you used to pay this off. Are you crazy or something? I don't care if you want to give it to me or not. There's two of us here. You got that? Two.
Oui.
Mr. Armstrong?
Oh, forgive me. Désolé. I cannot argue with him.
Ooh. That really hurt. Is that all you's got? I'll be taking those papers now. Armstrong, get the lighter. Wait. Don't take it too hard, Phoenix Wright. This guy's the worst. I was so stupid. I shouldn't have let my guard down. Yeah, Phoenix, stupid idiot. Those papers were vital. Evidence. Oh my god, he died. Hold it, pal.
My hero.
Detective Gumshoe? Detective? You think you're gonna stop me, copper? Beat it! Whoa. Come on, Gumshoe. Keep it together. You guys, get out of here. Leave this guy to me. But, go, pal. And here, take this. If you get hurt, who's gonna look after Maggie, huh? Oh. Alright, thanks, Gumshoe.
Wait, Nick, don't leave me behind.
Maya, you're a sacrifice.
What? And that's how Maya died.
I'll get even with that guy tomorrow. In court. Tenderlander's going down. Oh yeah, let's go. Let's go. Court time.
Good morning, Mr. Wright.
Phoenix, stop showing important evidence to the criminals.
Good morning, Maggie. So, what do you think is gonna happen today, sir? Yesterday's session didn't go well and ended on a giant mystery.
That's true. And we still haven't solved a single part of it yet.
Are you okay, Nick?
Yeah, of course.
I saw that little flash of doubt in your eyes.
No, that wasn't doubt. That was, determination.
Why don't I believe you? It's nearly time, Maggie. You better get going to the defendant's seat. Roger. Don't let me down, Mr. Wright. I'm counting on you.
You believe. You really shouldn't. Nope. Hey, pal. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. How's it going? How's it going? Hey, Detective Gumshoe. Quit stressing Maggie out. She doesn't need that. How'd you know she was stressed? Quit stressing Maggie out. I was watching through the doorway. Oh, you look like you lost the case already. I was watching through the doorway. Oh. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal? Here, maybe this'll help. Show a bit of confidence, will you, pal?
Huh? Have you taken up aromatherapy too?
Not in a million years, pal. Don't tell me that you don't remember this thing. Come to think of it, that doesn't look like one of those aromatherapy bottles. This is one of the small. This is the small bottle that turned up in Trebion's kitchen a couple days ago. Are you watching? Oh my God! Can you hear my stream? Oh jeez. Oh my God. Is there? Oh. I pulled up my stream in another tab to check something. Thank you for letting me know. I pulled up my stream to check how something was looking. Should be good now. Oh, I thought I hit mute. It's fine, I'm gonna close it anyway. Oh jeez. This is the small bottle that turned up in Trebion's kitchen a couple days ago. That's so funny. No.
Wow, look at all these little bottles.
Oh, they're aromatherapy oils. He's got so many, they're overflowing to the floor.
Hey, wait a minute. There's one bottle that's different than all the others.
Well, what do you know? And it doesn't have a label either.
And it doesn't smell.
We finally got the analysis results from the lab.
So, what is it? Is it the poison?
I'm afraid not, pal. It's medication.
Medication?
Yeah, for ears. Topical use only, apparently. For ears, you mean? Yeah, it's the medication Glenn Elg was using for his ruptured eardrum. What was Glenn Elg's ear medicine doing in the kitchen? The victim's ear medicine found covered in unidentified fingerprints in the kitchen. What about the unidentified fingerprints? Anything on that? Someone screwed up, so they only had time to analyze the contents of the bottle. Another hour and they might have gotten something on the prints, but it's gonna weaken its impact as a piece of evidence. Okay, pal, this is it. Make sure your defense is impregnable today. Got it?
Nick, why'd he told you not to get pregnant? Are you pregnant?
Today's trial. I'm gonna expose that guy for what he's done. Or my name isn't Phoenix Wright. Let's get him. Court is now in session for the trial of Maggie Bird. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Ready and waiting as always, Your Honor. Very good. Then we'll get underway at once. Yesterday we heard the testimony of Mr. Victor Kudo. He claims to have witnessed the defendant putting a powder into the victim's coffee. However, the witness's testimony was plagued with a number of problems. The mark on the rim of the cup shows the victim drank from it with his right hand, but according to the old man's testimony, he picked it up with his left hand. Thank you, Mr. Godot. Furthermore, according to the witness's account, The victim was listening to the radio with an earpiece in his left ear. Yet the victim's left eardrum was ruptured, which made him effectively deaf in that ear.
It's amazing how many contradictions a single case can have, huh, Nick?
Allow me to enlighten you, Your Honor. The world, you see, keeps turning, and we must turn with it. You've lost me already, Mr. Godot. Don't let the mysteries of yesterday mystify you today. Only losers think like that. You've got to change with the times. That's one of my rules. Are you implying that you've resolved these contradictions? You know the answers to these riddles. You know the answer to these riddles. The old guy wasn't just throwing seed in here. He was throwing us off his scent. Off the scent. And today, I'll prove it. Ooh. Very well. Let the first witness take the stand. Ugh. No. And you are? Bonjour, everyone. I am Jean Armstrong, the owner and head chef of La Trilogy restaurant. Enchanté. Forgive me for asking, witness, but... Oh la la, monsieur, as you can see, I am la perte and la perky gentleman, no? On the day of the incident, you were in Trabion's kitchen. Isn't that right? With you, monsieur. Everything feels right. So true. Oh my gosh. So true. So true. Wow, he's totally unfazed. Doesn't anything intimidate this guy? Very well, your testimony, please, witness. Please tell the court what happened the day at Trabion. We volunteers. When it all happened, there were just 2 customers in my restaurant. I remember I was experimenting with some new art decor that day, like having a large mirror between the tables, for example. Perhaps that is what the old man was looking at. La cup, la earpiece, and la glasses. He would have seen everything in reverse, no? Mirror? Oui, un grand mirror. La most enormous mirror. And suddenly, the mystery disappears. Like I said, the world keeps turning, so roll with it. That would explain the coffee cup and the earpiece conundrum. The mirror would have made everything appear back to front. It wouldn't. No. What the heck? It's way too early in the morning for this to be happening to me. Now then, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Hey, what do we say about dissing Godot in my chat? The coffee cup, the earpiece, and the HMD? Let's think back over Mr. Kudo's testimony for a second, shall we? The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the green lens of his specs. No question, you can lock me up if I'm wrong. It was his left ear, without a doubt. So to summarize, we were told both the HMD and the earpiece were on the victim's left side. Now, if Mr. Kudo saw that as a reflection in a mirror, it means both the HMD and the earpiece were actually on the victim's right side. Boom. Exactement. You see, monsieur, now that you think about it, it is not so hard, no? Unfortunately, that's where we run into a monumental contradiction with the facts. If Mr. Kudo really did see everything in a mirror, why is it that the HMD is now on the wrong side of his head? Stupid. Got him. Order, order. Mr. Wright is correct. If the witness genuinely observed the victim reflected in a mirror, then we would expect the victim's eyepiece to have been over his right eye. How bitter. Trey, you should have a taste of this bitterness. It'll calm you down in no time.
Anytime, Godot.
Are we talking about your coffee or something completely different? You don't understand the way the witness thinks. How he thinks? You remember this, I presume. The I broke the vase apology Mr. Kudo's sworn testimony? Exactly. The old man has one very grievous habit, other than throwing seeds. The more of an impression something makes, the more muddled his mind makes it. And what's the most striking thing about Mr. Elg? Clearly it's the victim's eyepiece. And that's my point. The old man strikes again. Mr. Elg's HMD made a big impression on the old man. I saw the earpiece and those newfangled spectacles he was wearing. Oh yes, they were both on his left ear, do you hear? His left ear! Well, Trey. That's the worst but best impression of Kudo ever.
Wow, I really thought he was old seedy for a minute there. Godot's good.
Enough! I must agree that yesterday's witness was irresponsibly rash in much of his testimony.
Bad luck, Nick. Looks like the boil of a contradiction you found is just a rash.
A mirror can't be beaten by a handful of seeds, nor can it lie. So, what exactly was the old man looking at? Fill us in, Mr. Armstrong. Go on, tell the court. We're all ears. Oui, I can explain. Please, if you will look at the pens of La Restaurant. Alright. The mirror. Alors, is everyone sitting comfortably? La mirror, it was in the middle of La Restaurant, dividing the two halves. There's only one seat from which you could have seen an image of La Victim. That was la seat at the table next to La Victims. That was where La old man was sitting. After la terrible incident occurred, I moved La mirror so it's not in the way. But naturally, I did not touch anything else. You're a liar. We know you touched other stuff. You told us. I see no problems with the explanation we have just heard. From the table next to the victims, Mr. Kudo could have seen the victim in the mirror. What a naughty little coquette I am, confusing all the men like this. Don't worry about it. We can keep up, except for the guy breaking out in a cold sweat over there again. Ugh, I hate that guy. You said you didn't touch anything else apart from the mirror? Are you quite sure about that? Volontiers, of course. Very well, Mr. Wright. Your cross-examination, if you please. Phoenix should just have a take a tape recorder with him at this point. No, don't think so. Don't think that's where he was sitting. Because the vase isn't knocked over. This piece of evidence contradicts with the testimony we have heard, Your Honor. The crime photo? Yes, this photo clearly shows something that theoretically should not exist. What on earth do you mean by that, Mr. Wright? Should not exist? Sounds like you're describing yourself, Trite. Oh my god. Now then, if the defense would please clarify its statement. Oh my god, Godot. What is something that should not exist in this photo? The victim. No, it's the flower. It's the vase. I think it's pretty obvious that this is what should not be in this picture. The vase? What possible connection does that have to do with this witness's testimony? Are you kidding me, Your Honor? Your Honor, I'm telling you that there should have been no vase at this table. Because it very clearly contradicts with this piece of evidence we were just talking about 5 minutes ago. What? Your Honor, are you an idiot? There is one thing that was clearly demonstrated by yesterday's testimony. Mr. Kudo broke the vase that he was that was at the table where he was sitting. And yet, as the court can see, there is an unbroken vase on the table next to the victim. Why? Because Mr. Kudo was not, in fact, sitting at the table next to the victim at all. Don't be an idiot, Trite. That's impossible. The seat's the only one Kudo could have seen the victim's reflection from. Exactly. There's only one conclusion we can draw from this contradiction. There was no mirror in Trabian that day. Your testimony, Mr. Armstrong, is an elaborate lie. Mon Dieu! Don't try to confuse the court, Trite. Obviously, the witness cleaned up the vase while the police were taking their time getting to the crime scene. Unfortunately, Mr. Godot, that doesn't quite work for me. Mr. Armstrong already testified to the contrary in his own words. I did not touch anything else except the mirror. Oh. Oh, well, witness, what do you have to say for yourself? I was right. There was no mirror in the restaurant that day. In light of this revelation, we return back to the original problem. Why did the victim have an earpiece in an ear in which he couldn't hear? You only get one shot in life. There's no turning back. If you want to claim that the mirror wasn't there, Trite, then this problem is all yours. How do you explain what the old man saw? If I can answer this, then I'll be that much closer to the truth. I can feel it.
Are you gonna be okay? Can you really solve this contradiction, Nick? Apparently, I need a save. Because
maybe I don't. There's more than just this one contradiction, Maya.
What do you mean?
Remember when Maggie told us, when they get all like worked up like this, I'm like, I should probably save. There was another man at the victim's table. There was a sample CD on the victim's table. It all flies in the face of Mr. Kudo's testimony. I think I know the reason why nothing in this case is adding up. Well, Mr. Wright, let's hear your answer. Yes, Your Honor. The reason behind all the contradictions in Mr. Kudo's testimony is simple. Mr. Kudo made a mistake. The ear doctor made a mistake. The victim was a phony. Ooh. Oh, that sounds fun. Is that it? This case is riddled with contradictions, yet there's one very simple answer that clears them all up. And what is that? The incident Mr. Kudo witnessed and the incident the victim experienced were two completely different events. What? Yes, the victim that Mr. Kudo saw wasn't Mr. Glenn Elg at all. It was an imposter. A phony pretending to be Mr. Elg. Oh! The imposter! Obviously, unlike the victim, there was nothing wrong with the imposter's left eardrum. That's how he ended up wearing the earpiece in his left ear by mistake. Order in the court. Settle down or I'll clear the courtroom. Quiet, Gramps. Why don't you clear out of here, huh? What did you say? Trey, are you saying that what Mr. Kudo saw was a setup? Yes. Someone pretended to be Glenn Elg and acted out the whole coffee poisoning. All for the express purpose of creating a witness out of one Mr. Victor Kudo. Get real, Trite. Why would anyone want to do that? Isn't it obvious? The thing Mr. Kudo was most insistent about in his testimony was... That serving girl brought him a Javakino. She put something in it. That's the serving girl right there in the defendant's chair. I remember her well. It's so hard to believe, but... There was one and only one reason to show Mr. Kudo this fake poisoning. To show Maggie Bird in the act of poisoning the coffee. Are you insinuating that the waitress in the old man's story was a fake as well? Yes. It's true that there were no other customers in the restaurant at the time, but... It's also true that the chef was there. He would have noticed that was happening. That's right! Well, witness, if your restaurant really was the scene of such theatrics, you would have known about it, correct? Oh la la, this is most difficult for me. No, it's quite simple. All you have to do is testify. You are under oath after all.
Was there in fact a phony tourbillon that day?
What movie? The defense demands that Mr. Armstrong tell the whole truth about what happened. Like he was supposed to do when he swore oath. The defense's request for additional testimony is accepted. You will accurately explain in detail the events in the restaurant that day.
Oui. Our victim, Monsieur Elg, he came to my restaurant alone. I remember the old man arrived not long after him. There was no other customers. When he got word he won the lottery, Mon Elg became very excited. It was approximately 5 minutes later that the poisoning incident occurred. No, there was no time for a phony to do la acting.
Just so we're clear, there was no mirror in the restaurant after all?
Je vous demande pardon? Forgive me, Your Honor. I lied because I wanted this mess to be cleared up quickly.
What you have just done is commit perjury, Mr. Armstrong. I will decide how to punish you later.
Oui.
For now, we will hear your cross-examination. Mr. Wright, if you please. He took that perjury charge a bit too well. But I'm guessing he'll be in more serious trouble after this cross-examination. By old man, you mean Victor Kudo, correct?
Oui, he comes in often for my special coffee.
I drank your coffee once, Mr. Armstrong. It's special. I'll give you that. It's worth a sip just for the experience.
Oh, you make me so happy, monsieur. You are most welcome anytime.
I said it was worth one sip, and nothing more. So, Mr. Kudo arrived at the restaurant around the same time as the victim. Maybe I should ask about his arrival in more detail? Yeah, what time was it? Out of curiosity, about what time was it when Mr. Kudo arrived?
Oh no, I cannot remember, monsieur.
I believe we were told by a witness yesterday. The crime was reported at 2:25 p.m. Oh, I got it. By a kind of scary old man, sir. I got it. It's the... No, I figured it out. Because it couldn't have been that time, because he was listening to the Millionaire Radio at 1:30. Does that perhaps jog your memory, witness?
No, incident happened about 20 minutes after you arrived. So the victim must have arrived between 2 p.m. and 10 p.m., no?
Just after 2, huh?
Well, thank you for your help in jogging my memory, monsieur. You are wonderful.
I can sit here all the time and do nothing now, can I? I can't... Okay. The time of day will be added to the witness's testimony.
Oui, monsieur judge. Everything I do it for you.
Merci bien. That's French, isn't it? I'm glad at least one person is in a good mood.
He's even humming a song to himself.
No. Not true. Didn't happen. I'm afraid I finally got you, Mr. Armstrong.
Oh, quoi? Oh, what do you mean?
At the time in question, the victim was listening to the radio with his earpiece. The show he was listening to was Millionaire Radio. Each week, they announced the winning numbers of the $500,000 lottery ticket.
Oui, that must be la show Monsieur Elg was listening to.
I can't see any problem with this testimony, Mr. Wright. I wonder. You say the victim arrived at your restaurant after 2 p.m., correct?
Oh, oui. I am sure of it. I remember it perfectly now. I know it was that time because I had just finished serving la lunch menu.
Get to the point, right? If you have one. That show is broadcast live at 1:30 p.m. and it claims to be the most thrilling 10 minutes of your life. It's on the air at 1:30? Now, supposedly the victim made some noise when it was announced that he had won. And yet, I don't believe his cry of joy could have occurred after 2 p.m. because the show had already finished more than 30 minutes earlier by that point in time.
No.
The victim we've been told about has done nothing but the impossible. Listening to the radio with a ruptured eardrum, catching a show that was already over. There's only one conclusion you can draw from these facts. This victim was an imposter, acting out the poisoning 30 minutes after the real murder. Yeah, there were 2 Glen Elgs in Trabion that day. The real Glen Elg, now dead, having been poisoned by the real killer. And the phony Glen Elg, acting out the events for Mr. Kudo to witness. Oh boy, oh boy. And I can't wait to learn more about this tomorrow. Oh, thank you guys so much for showing up. I had a lot of fun, but like I said, this is going to be a short stream. And by short stream, 2.5 hours is apparently short for me now. Oh jeez, oh jeez. Thank you guys so much for showing up. It was a blast. As always. Let's start a raid. There we go. Join up the raid. My friend Jacob's live, so go show him some love. Go show Jacob some love. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys tomorrow, where we're gonna finally finish this case once and for all. Hopefully, please. So we can move on to episode 4. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. See you tomorrow.